Welcome to Remelations. We're your hosts. I'm Mindy.
And I'm Brooke.
Remelations is a dream interpretation podcast where we read listeners' dreams, from nightmares to the just plain bizarre. Join us as we give you our comedic interpretation of your fucked up REM cycle. We're starting this week with a dream from Bug that has to do with detective work, washing your hands, and curiously long clowns.
Ooh, this sounds terrifying. We also have great catnaps, 911 calls from a she shed, blood tears.
Oh, no.
Baptism by fire with your swim coach, and USS Arizona ghosts.
Ooh.
And I'll also be talking about sexsomnia, another parasomnial condition that we haven't covered yet, but ow!
All right, bestie. Grab that creepy long clown and let's get started.
Woo!
I spilled my wine on my paper.
Oopsie doopsie.
Bummer.
Occupational hazard.
I know. I was like on the way down here and I'm like carrying 100 things. And then I was like,
Wine fingers.
And now I gotta lick him off. Hi. I just got home from a gorgeous beach engagement shoot on the shores of Lake Michigan.
How was it? The weather's perfect.
It was beautiful. It was fucking beautiful. They're so cute.
I love this. Yay. Are you doing their wedding too?
Yes. It's a big old Greek wedding next year. So that's exciting.
Boy, that's a biggie.
Yeah. But the only problem with this session was it was like North Shore. So I had to, it's like an hour and a half drive at this time of day at rush hour. But other than that, it was gorgeous. It was fun.
Yeah,
how's your day?
I'm glad it was great. I mean, I wish it were Friday, but I'll take that close. Friday's tomorrow. It's so
Friday
close.
Eve. Welcome to Friday Eve.
Welcome. Friday Eve.
We just get the party started a little early here on Thursdays. Yeah. So if you're ready, I've got a dream to share.
I am ready.
This dream comes to us from Ontario, Canada.
Okay.
And this dreamer originally said they would like to stay anonymous, but then they said you can use my nickname, Bug. And I was like, I can use the nickname Bug. I love it.
Okay, Bug, let's hear
Buggy
it.
Boo. Here we go.
Buggy Boo Boo.
Bug starts with a little bit of context.
Okay, I love it.
To give some context about myself, I am a female, 20 years old. I live in Canada. My personality type is an INTJ.
God bless you, Bug. This is how she introduces herself to us. I love her.
And I'm a Leo.
Oh,
love all the details.
Mindy, we love you.
For our besties who didn't listen to last week's episode, we go into the Myers-Briggs personality test just for a review for everyone if you didn't hear it.
Go back and check it out.
So for a little bit of a review lesson, INTJ would be an introversion, intuition, thinking, judgment personality type. Mm-hmm. Which is pretty close, I think, to what you and I were. You thought you might be a TJ, INTJ, right?
I think I might be an E.
Oh, you're the E. That's right. I'm the I. Okay.
But I am definitely
the J. We're both judgy.
We're both
ended
J's.
in J. So Bug,
we're both.
You're where you belong.
You're with friends as long as you're a J.
So an INTJ in Leo. I typically have very vivid dreams, lots of details, very surreal events, almost always overly disturbing.
Ooh, I'm loving it already.
Normally, they never make sense as a whole, but I've been told it's more about the little things that show up in a dream. Sorry, this is a jumble of words. I just had to write it down as it comes to me, or else I'll mess up the details.
Oh, you do you, Bug. You do you. However you get it down and over to us, we don't care. Loves your process.
It starts out in a rundown, really small town that eventually turned into a trailer park? ?
Okay.
It was winter.
I'm there. Ooh.
And there was a few feet of snow on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell this is a girl from Canada who's just like casually saying.
Just a couple feet of snow.
Just a couple feet. Not a couple inches. There's just a couple feet of snow on the ground. We
and
can't
a trailer
open the door to our trailer, but, we're warm and cozy.
It's all good. I and this other girl are investigating these abandoned houses.
Okay.
Not really sure why, but I know we're looking for something. I think we're some sort of detectives or something of the like. Like it?
Of the like.
So we approach this one house. It's white, which is not important, but I remember that.
Well, maybe it is important.
Maybe it is important, Bug. We'll talk about it. If you remember a detail that specifically, I always feel it's like important.
Yeah, it's something is making it stand out to you.
Stand out,
need to pay
absolutely.
attention.
The house's windows are boarded up, and I remember us walking around the back first to look for a door. Not the front door, I guess. Just looking for the back door.
No, we don't need the front door. Oh, it's right there? No, let's go find another way.
Yeah, so let's walk through 3 feet of snow first to find the back door. We didn't find the back door. We only found a single door on the side. I, for some reason, commented to the other girl how weird this was.
Mm-hmm.
We enter with caution in case anyone is inside. This house is small. It's rectangular shape, and there is one wall dividing the house into 2 parts long ways.
Weird. Okay. I'm here.
I'm thinking, are we doing a hot dog slice on this house?
Yeah, it sounds like a hot dog slice.
Like a hot dog slice. Okay, that's what I was picturing. Hot dog slice house.
That's the realtor's term.
Yeah.
This is a hot dog slice house.
A nice 1950s hot dog style home.
Yes.
Split level.
I love that mid-century hot dog style.
In the wall separating the 2 long ways, there are 2 doorways on either side of the house to connect the 2 halves. The inside is completely wooden, unfinished. It smells old and dusty.
Yuck.
There is random trash about the house, like a crack house, but otherwise empty. The only furniture...
Lovely. What's the sale price?
on the hot dog house, it's definitely $6,000. But you got to haul out your own garbage.
And the crackheads?
No, they're extra.
Oh, God, I knew they would be tricky to get out.
The only furniture that is there are 2 wooden tables on either side of the wall.
Okay.
Now, all of this is strange because normally, in my dreams, my surroundings change like a labyrinth.
Ooh.
The general place may stay the same, but the objects, doorways, walls, and everything moves normally. This dream was different. As I moved throughout the entire house during the dream, it did not change as I explored.
That seems like it would be a good thing almost.
You'd think.
From the sense of where this dream is going, I don't think it is a good thing, but it should be.
You'd think, but it is different than what Bug normally dreams, so that's interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
We were looking around this house, moving things around in search for whatever we were looking for. Then all of a sudden, your favorite term, I get this strangely foreboding feeling.
Oh, no, Bug. Oh, no.
In utter fear, I mutter the words along the lines of, "We must wash our hands."
Oh, this is the worst dream I've ever heard. I'm so terrified, Mindy. Please don't go on.
Then all hell breaks loose.
Oh, no. I spoke too soon, I feel.
Day literally turns to night, and I sprint to the first half of the house where the door we entered was located. At this point, we are on opposite sides of the house as the exit door, and now my mission is to get there as fast as I can.
Okay. How big is this house?
I mean, it's a big hot dog. It's like a foot-long hot dog house.
It's a foot long hot dog. Oh my God.
I am sprinting there, and the room seems to be getting longer and longer.
Oh, now that's too much hot dog.
The lights that are, for some reason, now turned on are flickering. And I now see my goal, a sink that was not there before.
To wash your hands?
I don't know why we have to wash our hands. We have to wash our hands.
I don't know, but it seems like it's life or death at this point.
This is the only thing that changed in my surroundings throughout the entire dream. Everything else was weirdly consistent. And the sink was mounted to the wall, but it was mounted where one of the doorways in the wall had been previously located. I am trying to get to the sink that magically appeared, but now something is chasing me. I look back, and...
Is it the soap? Is it the soap?
It's a long clown man.
Nothing about what you just said sounds okay to me. I don't like...
A long
clown
man.
Clown or man.
She goes
I can't. Oh
she
my
goes
God.
into detail about this clown, okay?
No, I don't like it.
He was probably 12 feet long and had the proportions of a ferret. His torso was long and its legs were short, or normal size for a man.
The proportions of a ferret?
So it's a hot dog clown we're at. Does we have a hot dog clown,
a hot dog house.
I don't like it though. I don't like it.
I'm not enjoying where this is going.
I make it to the sink, and without thinking, I put soap on my hands and wash them in the blink of an eye. The clown comes face to face with me.
No!
Like an inch apart,
No.
and I stand there.
Bug, I'm so scared for you right now.
The other girl finally comes into this part of the house and just kind of watches from behind the long clown.
Were you like, bitch, get in line? I'm washing my hands right now.
And she's
got this long clown,
happy
guys."
birthday to
Do it
you.
twice.
You got to make sure you got the 60 seconds in there. As the clown's just forebodingly standing over her, she's just
Waiting.
sorry.
Like, arms crossed. Like,
His hot dog
one more
arms.
time. Really? We're going through it one more time? Okay. Happy birthday. And then the clown chimes in.
He's like, and many more. Don't know. Okay. Whew, I know this is a lot. Then I realize I know this clown. His name is Johnny.
Johnny the clown.
And now that I've washed my hands, he's not hostile to me.
You just
So she
gotta
was
have
right.
Clean hands?
She was right.
She got to that sink first.
I mean, he's just a germaphobe. That's what we figured out.
Johnny
Long clown man.
Long clown Johnny.
Sorry, that's good. Okay. And then, it can't get any weirder, Brooke.
God. And there's an and then now?
And then Bug says, I reversed gravity on myself and I stand on the ceiling. And now I'm also a clown. But I'm a much smaller clown. Johnny is still huge and long.
Now I'm also a clown.
Johnny the Long John clown. The hot dog long clown.
Long clown Johnny. It's a hard thing to say.
It is, and I'm definitely not going to get that right. I'm going to write that down. Long clown Johnny. Because I'm not going to get that backwards. I know that.
Johnny Long Clown.
Both are good. And then it dawned on me that Johnny is a clown haunting the other girl and I for some reason. Even though I know him, he still torments us.
Rude Johnny.
And we may or may not be clown detectives.
I mean, Bug and Johnny or Bug and her friend are detectives.
Well,
Unclear?
Unclear. So yeah, that's where it left off. In the crack shack with a terrifying deformed giant clown guy. Not as disturbing as my most recent other dreams. Actually, now that I'm reading it, it's pretty lighthearted compared to the rest.
Wow, Bug. Send us some more.
Oh.
If this is your lighthearted dream with your little long clown Johnny, I don't... Oh.
Or Johnny Long Clown. I don't know. Where are we going on this? Johnny Long Clown? Long Clown.
I like both.
I'm leaning towards Johnny Long Clown. Johnny Long Clown. I don't know. I can't say that.
They're both hard to say. Oh, my goodness.
Wow. Bug, thank you. We're going to get into that in just a moment.
Yes, but first, thank you so much for submitting your dream. And for all of our besties out there, the best thing you can do to support the show is go to remelations.com/support. You could submit dreams, dream stories. If you're super cool, you can join the sleepover squad. What? Get extra features each month. And hey, guess what? You can also check out our cool AF merch.
Like a shirt that says, I don't like it. I don't like clowns. Don't like it.
I don't like Johnny Long Clown. Could be up there by the time you search. You never know, because we like to keep things fresh on the show. But yes, please, any support you could give, tell a friend, tell anybody. Just go to remelations.com/support.
Support. All right, Bug. Wow. Okay. Let's dive in. There's a lot of symbols in this dream.
You're telling me.
Okay. So we're going to start with the Crack House Trailer Park.
The Crack Shack?
House. The Crack Shack Hot Dog House. A couple things to note here. This area that she was in was abandoned. It was boarded up. It was unfinished. It was empty. So when we see things like a crack house in a dream, that can typically bring up feelings of insecurity, instability, or a change in your life.
Sure.
Now, here's what I found interesting. So thinking of a rundown shack. A crack shack. Crack shack baby. Sorry.
Going to the crack shack. Crack shack. Go to the crack shack.
So thinking of the crack shack, you would think like browns and darks and dilapidated, and it's white. And she said, I don't know if it's important, but I really think it does. And I'm going to talk on a couple dichotomies throughout the stream.
Ooh, dichotomies.
And this is one of them, right?
Okay.
You would think it's supposed to be run down, but it's white, almost like she was drawn to it for a reason. Miss all the chaos, miss all the destruction, the uncertainty. She's got a mission, and she's following this kind of path. Something's calling her in here.
To clean her hands.
To wash her hands.
Is this a COVID dream? When did this happen?
I wonder. At the end of the dream, we get some insight that she thinks she's a clown detective. So let's talk about detective work. We haven't talked about detectives quite yet, I don't think, on this podcast.
Not really. And really, for all of our true crime love, I can't believe we haven't really talked about it so much.
And to be in that profession, it was like she was put into a role that I'm guessing she's not a clown detective in real life. Just guessing.
If she is, though, please let us know, because I'd like to know how to apply and to study to be a clown detective.
So detective work, let's talk about it. Figuring stuff out. Yes. Bug, are you trying to figure your life out? Are you seeking perhaps some hidden truths in your life right now? Are you trying to solve a problem that's perhaps bothering you? And your mind right now is trying to sift through all the junk, all the garbage in the crack shack, and trying to figure out where Johnny Long Clown is and what's he doing there and why we have to be there in the first place. You're trying to figure something out, for sure.
I'm sorry. Okay, yes, I'm with you.
Now, here's another dichotomy that we're going to talk about, is the idea that this house is really split into two. The hot dog sliced house.
Yeah, the hot dog house.
Mm-hmm. The hot dog house.
Because they made it very specific that it was lengthwise.
Lengthwise, yes.
Yes, which is, I mean, not that it would be any different necessarily widthwise, but lengthwise is not usually how you break apart
a room. Isn't the feng shui's not there?
No, it's not. It can't be right. It doesn't feel right. I don't like it.
No, it is. It's definitely off. But everything was symmetrical, it seemed. There were two doors.
And clean, like made of wood. You even said like it was just all wood.
Unfinished.
Like, so there was nothing fancy about it, nothing descriptive about it, just kind of a clean, opened
Besides the garbage and the crack pipes, other than that,
Besides
pretty
that,
clean.
the frame of it is clean.
And the fact that there was 2 sets of small tables and chairs that she had set on each side.
Doors. 2
and very
doors,
symmetrical. Too. So interesting.
Yes, okay.
So symmetry might just be your mind's way of working 2 sides of an issue. Mm-hmm. Which, again, I feel like the dichotomies throughout the stream is you're really trying to figure something out, and there's 2 ways. There's a light and a dark. There's a right and the wrong. And again, that comes up when we talk about, she had mentioned things shifted. It went from day to night, to lights off, to lights on. So again, we're talking about 2 sides of an issue.
Yep.
What about...
Pretty specifically. I mean, symbolically, but yes. I mean, if you're saying like lights on, lights off, day, night, you're kind of showing that there is a struggle there. There is some kind of issue to work out. Mm-hmm.
And why the washing of the hands? Dirty, clean. Again, we're 2 different sides of this. I don't know what you had touched. I mean, maybe it was a crack pipe, and you should definitely wash your hands after that.
Absolutely.
But it was at this all hell breaks out moment. Like, she has this bad feeling.
It was like a life or death situation.
Like, light bulb turned on. I have to wash my hands. And I think for Bug, this is something that may have happened or is going to happen, that a light bulb is going to come on and she's going to figure out what the path is. Because it kind of came as an inspiration moment in the stream through a comical way of washing your hands to disarm a clown. But well, let's talk about washing your hands a little bit, actually.
Yeah, I'm curious. I mean, because we all have a different idea of it after COVID.
Yes, and I'm curious of what your idea on this is. For me, speaking of cleansing yourself, it's getting rid of feelings, perhaps of guilt, or a cleanse in a part of your life. So you're closing of one chapter, moving something on. How do we get to this decision? Which path to take? Unless we kind of take a step back and kind of cleanse ourselves first to decide which way to go.
Right.
Now, what do you think about washing hands? Is there anything that jumped out to you on like why that was brought up?
Like I said, my first thought was COVID, but that's just because that's been in our everyday lives for the last few years. I mean, you're supposed to wash your hands for many different reasons, but during COVID, I think it was made apparently clear that it has to be done. And like you were singing happy birthday twice, like it just seems like a cleansing needed, like a rebirth almost.
Yeah, like a shedding of one part of your life and moving on to another.
Yeah.
But then I get thrown this curveball with this clown. I was pretty good on track with the symbols until Johnny Long Clown comes along. And I just kind of get
ruins everything.
I just get thrown for a loop. Why such a disformation? Why is he presenting himself in your dream as something so different?
Anything disfigured, like in proportion wise, it draws attention to itself. Mm-hmm. Whether it's in real life or a dream,
Not like a clown isn't enough attention to make it so foreboding. As a long clown.
Super long. Not creepy at all.
Clowns can be taken 2 ways. When you look at the interpretation of clowns, it can represent a childhood thing. I don't know any child who loves clowns, to be honest. I think Bozo. I'll take it back. I liked Bozo.
Okay, thank you. So, look at you. You
one
just
clown.
Pulled yourself back.
Clown.
What about Cookie? Did you like Cookie?
I liked Cookie actually, even maybe a little more than Bozo.
That's too close.
Clowns. Is it a callback to your childhood? Is it something that's really supposed to be innocent, but now what seems so innocent as a child, an issue you're in, your surroundings, is it now that you're seeing more of it? Now as an adult, you're like, maybe it's not so playful. Maybe it's a situation or something where it's a little more scary than I always thought it was so whimsical as a kid.
Sure. It's like any kind of awakening you have from that kind of teen or young adult life into adulthood. It's like, it's not really what I expected.
I just want to finish with kind of going back to those twos, the symbols of twos, the good, the versus the evil, the light versus the dark, the day versus the night, the big clown, and then Bug was a normal size clown. So again, like kind of these ideas.
But didn't she say she was like almost not normal size, but like smaller? Or am I just remembering that incorrect? Or was she just smaller than
Johnny
Long Clown Johnny?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I think so. Twos, speaking of numerology and dreams, think of a yin and a yang, a harmony and balance. So is it figuring out this part of your life? Do you have to figure out that balance? So for you, Bug, here's what I think. These symbols are telling me you're kind of at that age where you have to recognize what's happened as a child and yet work that into your adult. You can't just write off your childhood and leave it there. It's always going to follow you. But it's having that balance of taking the good of your childhood with you and leaving the things that didn't serve you in your childhood.
Exactly. It's life lessons, you know. What you learned that made you positive, what you learned that made you grow, what you learned that made you fail. You need to go through all of those things, but then you have to take the positive with you to move forward.
You do. And if you want to let Brooke know how to become a clown detective, you can email us at revelations@gmail.com. She is looking. She really was hoping to get into the circus, but this is the next best thing.
This is the next best. Maybe the better thing. Maybe I just need to wait later in life till I found out the perfect thing. Which is a clown detective.
What do you think? What does a clown detective do? You think it would be like, there was not enough scarves in your sleeve.
There was not enough water in that flower to have drowned the person this clown squirted in the face with.
Oh, yeah, good call.
Or maybe there's too many scarves shoved down someone's throat.
I love how dark you're taking this. Very interesting. I don't trust Johnny.
Am I good? Am I a good clown detective?
Yeah.
I feel like I have what it takes.
I think you do. Thanks, Bug, for sharing your dream. Please submit more. We'd love to hear more.
That was great. Hey, bestie. We have a new segment where...
What?
Yes, Mindy, new segment.
It's like I didn't know. I'm pretending, what? I didn't know.
Right, it was Mindy's idea.
Well, if you are in our sleepover squad, we gave you a heads up last week. We gave you a little sneaky peeky.
We gave you a sneaky peeky, which we like to do, but every week now, we are going to introduce a Would You Rather question, and we'd love... As Mindy and I give our answers, but we'd love for you to join and mention in our Facebook group what you feel is your response to this Would You Rather question that we're going to post or pose, I should say, to you each week.
Yeah, this is something we used to do all the time. We talked about it a little bit last week during like our lunchroom quizzes, our sleepovers. We always would have these questions that we would propose to people because we're curious people. And so
we're clown detectives. We've got to know.
Oh man, Brooke, if you pull out a clown question for this first one, my jaw would drop. Would you rather fuck a clown? No.
or
Hannibal Lecter.
Or any other member of the McDonald's crew.
Okay, that's it. We gotta do it.
That's the question. Okay.
That's the question. Okay, wow. Okay, this was organic.
It was very organic.
If you could get it on with any of the McDonald's crew, like we're talking Ronald McDonald, Grimace, the Hamburglar. There was the little girl, that looking thing. I don't remember her name.
Isn't that Wendy from Wendy's?
No, that's Wendy's. Totally different. If you were going to be in a romantic relationship or bang, any of the McDonald's crew.
Oof, this is a tough one. I guess I'm not going Ronald. Sorry, I'm not a clown.
No, I'm not. You're not. I'm not a clown banger.
I'm not a clown banger. Sorry. If we could have had a picture just now, we both had our mouths covered in the exact same way.
Okay, I'm going to pull up the McDonald's characters just so you can see it real quick. It was Birdie, the early bird was her name. Birdie, the early bird. There was Cosmic, who was like the alien guy.
Cosmic? I've never heard of such
Grimace.
a fella.
There was the Fry Girls. Do you remember the Fry Girls? They were like little puppets that were... Fry Girls? Okay.
Oh, I guess I'm going to have to go with the Hamburglar just because I like wearing black and white, and I think it's a nice staple in a clothing situation. How about you, Mindy?
I'm going to have to agree. I'm going with the Hamburglar for the fact that he can burgle us some fries and burgers afterwards.
Burgle us some burgers.
Yes.
It's a good call.
Okay.
Hey, that was our Would You Rather.
That's a bang to start. That's a way to start it.
That's a way to start off this. Just flying by the seat of our pants. That's the way to start.
That's what you get when you come to Remelations.
Hey, you never know.
You never know.
You never know what
the
Would You Rather is going to be. It could be crazy next week, so stay tuned.
Love it. Okay, Bessie, now that we have had that fun, it's time to get to our catnap segment where we read a bunch of your dreams. Short, long dream stories, doesn't matter. We're just going to get a bunch of them on the show as possible. We don't do any interpretation on these. We just have a good time telling your stories.
Ooh.
Brookie, you ready to start?
I am. So my first catnap of the evening is Greg from Houston. And this is just a single sentence dream. And people, this is what we're asking for. This is what catnaps is all about. I dreamt that a Komodo dragon was attacking the people closest to me and wanted to take over their bodies.
Oh.
And that's it. That is upsetting, Greg. I do apologize. But yes, could you imagine like a Komodo dragon just attacking all the people you love because they want to take over their bodies?
You know, it's funny. When I met Mark, he had a dragon lizard.
Oh, like a bearded dragon?
Yeah, a bearded dragon. And I was like, I'm not going to, I don't like to look at it. I don't like to be in the room with it. I don't I want it in its natural habitat and not staring at me.
In your bedroom looking at you?
No, it wasn't that weird. He wasn't that much of a bachelor. It was in the bedroom. It was downstairs in an office. So I'll give him that.
Still, you know it's there.
I know
like
it's
if
there.
Someone has a pet snake, I don't care where in the house I am well aware of where the snake is at all times.
Oh, yeah, you have to. Or what about tarantula? Like people tarantulas?
No.
Well, it was bad enough when the kids were little. My oldest son and my oldest daughter decided to start a rat circus.
Wait a minute. Wait. Pause. You say it so nonchalantly, Mindy, but a rat circus?
Yeah.
Not a mouse circus.
Yeah, it was, they wanted to breed and then train them. Because, I mean, actually rats are quite trainable, I've heard.
Sure.
But the babies would get out in the house. And it was a horrifying nightmare. And
Wait, it was for real this happened to you?
Yep.
The baby rats?
Yeah, they got out in the house. But this is, so I'm like of the no rat policy in the house. Whereas Mark is much more likes to have fun, and the kids should do what they want to do, and I love it. I love him for it. But they shouldn't breed rodents, and they shouldn't get out into our house.
That's a line. That's a tough conversation you have to have with a spouse.
Yeah.
At some point, you're going to be like, where are you on the rat philosophy? Good.
Usually talk religion, kids, money before you get married. We didn't have the rat conversation.
Rats. See, everyone forgets the rat conversation.
Rodents definitely has to be talked about before marriage. Household pets. Rodents allowed? Snakes? Amphibians? Huh? What are you talking about?
All of those have to be on the list before you get married. Absolutely agree. What you got for me, Mindy?
I've got this dream from Olivia, and she's from Bar Harbor, Maine. Title's this scary lady dream. At the beginning of the dream, I was walking around at the end of our street, minding my own business. And this girl walked up to me and tried to mug me.
Not cool.
She kept trying to steal my stuff, so I threw something to distract her and ran away.
Good job,
Do you want my keys? They're over here.
Well, not keys. I wouldn't take keys. I'd be like,
Wallet?
Here's my wallet, and throw it and then run the other way.
Yep. She started running after me down the street, and I ran into my house in the dream. And I ran inside as an attempt to get away. I tried to call 911.
Wow.
But the call kept dropping, or
What?
unrelated people kept answering.
Fucking no.
It's like 911, it's like, Happy Joe's Pizza.
I'm like, oh, Happy
No.
Joe's. Okay, this is even better than 911. I'll have a half taco supreme, half BLT. It's going to weigh 17 pounds and cost $47, but it'll be the best pizza you ever have in your
I might get mugged and murdered in the meantime, but can you make it snappy? Eventually, the scary lady broke into the house, but I snuck out while she was looking for me and ran to a neighbor's house / shed and hid there. /shed, you know.
A neighbor's house /
The neighbor's she shed. She ran to the neighbor's she shed and hid there. I tried to call 911 a few more times and was still unsuccessful. Eventually, some of my family found me, but so did the girl. And then I woke up.
Damn it! So we don't know what happened.
Did you get your pizza?
Did you get your pizza? Were you alive? I guess those are my two biggest questions. Number one, did you get your pizza? Number two, did you end up alive after she found you in your she shed?
And there's probably like pruning shears and shit in there. You can defend yourself. It's a good idea. It's a great idea.
Lots of stuff. Okay. Here's another little quick one for you from Rebecca from Minneapolis.
Yes.
One dream that has always stuck with me was from when I was a little girl. I could fly up into the clouds,
Nice.
and there was a beautiful toy shop up there.
Amazing.
It was great because, one, I could fly, and two, I could have whatever toy I wanted. Oh, that's like, come on, people. That's the epitome of a sweet-ass dream for a kid.
I'm in. Flying.
I'm totally in. Mindy, I may have mentioned it before. I'm not sure, but I don't know how old I was, but I was probably kindergarten age when I was really into Care Bears. And we were flying. It was the first time I had flown since, like, I had learned about the Care Bears. And, you know, they live in the clouds and all that jazz. I was so sure, like, that transition between when you're kind of going from where you can still see the ground through the clouds and then it's just clouds. I was like,
You thought for sure you'd see the Care Bears in real life.
And I didn't say anything to my mom because I was flying with my mom to just go see our family in Arizona. But it was like so
Disappointed?
Sure, so sure I would see my goddamn Care Bears up there.
Oh, and you didn't. But
I didn't because, Mindy, they're not real.
they're not real. I know.
Unfortunately, this is a sad day for our podcast. Care Bears are not real. But yes, I do remember that quite vividly. So I get it.
Love it, though. That was a happy, happy dream.
Happy dream.
I love getting those. I love getting the happy dreams.
Oh, yes.
They don't happen enough. This one comes from Morgan, and she's from Galena, Illinois.
Oh.
Right between us. Bestie.
Right
Morgan.
between us. Like, we have a hug happening, and we don't even realize it.
You're sandwiched between your bestie, Mindy and Brooke. Okay. It was my birthday, and I was cutting a cake with everyone that I love. Everyone was happy, but suddenly I heard voices in my head.
Not cool.
And they did not seem natural. Those voices were in gibberish, and they made me scream. Next thing I know, everyone around me was screaming too and crying, and I could see blood tears coming out of their eyes. That sounds like the worst birthday
That's
ever.
Not good. I don't like it.
Oh, that's just Morgan. I don't like it, and
I'm not a fan of the blood tears. This is Rachel from Shreveport.
okay. LA, as in Louisiana, not Los Angeles.
Good
Woo.
call, Mindy.
Thanks.
Good call. Woo, woo. I had a horrible swim teacher growing up. She says, in my dream, I would get chased by 2 hellhounds down to the creek in my backyard.
Oh.
This doesn't sound great.
No.
The creek would be a river of fire
Jesus
with
Christ.
her all in black waiting for me. This must be
The swim teacher?
The swim teacher.
You know who I'm picturing as the swim teacher right now?
Who?
Oh my God. This is popped in my head. Jane Lynch.
She could play this part.
Like she could play
this part. Oh,
she could,
for sure.
you know, she's
Oh
an
my
Illinois
God.
girly. She's
She
from my home
is?
state. She grew up in the Chicago suburbs. Have you ever watched? Have you ever seen Glee? Or are you like a Glee fan? Were you into that?
I did watch the first few seasons of Glee. I didn't like hang on to it and watch it.
I feel like I could
religiously.
get into it. I feel like if I gave
Yeah.
myself a Sunday morning with mimosas,
think
I
you
would
would.
dig it.
Give yourself Sunday mimosas and you're gonna dig anything.
That's true.
But hashtag.
Oh my God, we have not done her yet. And she's fabulous. Yes.
And she is fabulous, and I would love to hear from her.
what does Jamie Lee?
Lynch
Oh, wait, no. What
Wait, what are you
I said
saying?
Jamie. I was going to say Jamie Lee Curtis. No, it's not even
I
close.
knew that's what you're saying. I heard you say Jamie, and I'm like, wait.
Okay.
Okay.
Hashtag.
What
What
does Jane
Lynch dream?
Ooh,
Okay.
good one.
Jane, sweetheart, you are from
baby.
my hometown, Ms. Lynch, baby. And so many amazing movies I love. I mean, just
Movies, TV shows.
she just nails it. Nails it every time.
She
Ozark,
is
you didn't watch
one of
Ozark.
the best improvisational comedians of her time. She is just spectacular in every way.
Lynch, let us know what you dream. And why are you sending hellhounds after people?
Don't.
I don't
Okay,
know. Rude.
let's.
I'm sorry.
Let's
I know we
specify.
totally hijacked this dream. but-
We hijacked the stream, and we know you're not specifically sending hellhounds, but appreciate the process, Jane. Appreciate the process. I think she's gonna love it. I think she's gonna love it.
I just got okay. So I'm picturing Jane Lynch.
I haven't
Black.
even finished.
No, hellhounds, Fire River.
forgot.
She's got it down.
I forgot. I'm like
Bad
where-
bitch. She's gonna get it.
I totally forgot we hadn't even finished. Okay. The hellhounds would corner me down into the creek where she would hold me down and baptize me with fire.
Oh, oh! Wow, I didn't see that coming from Jane.
Not Jane behavior, I
Okay.
hope.
Hmm?
But hey, you know what? Baptism by fire sometimes is the best way to get things to work out, Mindy.
Fire or water, both great ways to be baptized if you would want to do such thing. All right. This dream is from Sarah from San Diego. For the longest time, I lived in Hawaii at the Navy Lodge Inn next to the famous USS Arizona wreck.
Oh my goodness, that's one place I would love to visit.
And another wreck as well. Yeah, I think I would love to visit Hawaii, but I think that would be a really cool memorial to see.
It would be. Absolutely.
I'm a biological female if it matters. I would frequently have the same dreams. I would go to sleep, only to wake up in the waters above the USS Arizona as a male, screaming and being dragged beneath.
Oh, God.
These dreams only intensified after I took a ferry out to the memorial. I got the deepest pit inside me, and when I went to sleep again, it only got worse until I moved from the place I had been living.
No shit. So was... Okay. My thoughts are going.
Yeah.
Was this really to do with the Arizona, or was this something in your house
I feel like it was so close to it that I feel like one of the departed souls was attaching to her.
There was some energy attached to her, is what I feel. Agreed.
And it's right there. If it's so close,
so
like think of how many of those soldiers had been like walking those grounds.
Just on that boat that you walk over and you see sunken. Like, I haven't been there, but
I've heard it's an incredible memorial. Yeah.
But yes, you're absolutely right. Like,
someone's attaching to you, Sarah. They're trying to tell their story, and it's not a great feeling to feel, I'm sure.
It's
but the
not
fact
a great feeling to feel, but the fact that they're reaching out to you means that they trust you in some way, and maybe they're related to you in some way.
Oh my God.
Some kind of relative that was maybe
get the genealogy, get that blood test, get your DNA, start tracking on it.
Get that Pearl Harbor info going.
Yeah, we got to figure that out. There's got to be something there.
There really does. I mean, there can be connections for lots of reasons, but I feel like there is something with proximity and familiarity that is drawing her to this particular, I want to say, devastation.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's sad, but she is, oh God,
she's receiving it. That's a tough one. But thank you for sharing.
Yeah,
love stories like that. Keep sharing them. Keep sharing them,
Absolutely.
Bestie.
Absolutely.
Hey, Bestie, speaking of sharing, I need you to do me one favor, and so does Brooke. So two favors wrapped in one.
Yes.
And it's a twofer.
It's a twofer.
Tell your best friend about the podcast. You can tell your favorite clown investigator or any investigator at all. That'd be fine. Any detective you may know. Tell them about the podcast.
We appreciate your hard work.
You can tell your favorite McDonald's buddy, hey, let's go get a Big Mac. Let's talk about who we're going to boing, and let's talk about a podcast.
Boring.
You can tell your favorite baptized bestie about the show. I mean, they might not like the swearing so much and some of the rhetoric, but, give it a try.
It happens.
Give it a try.
Give it a try.
Let one person know about the podcast. That's how we grow organically, and that's the best thing you can do for us is just tell one person. Thanks.
Guess how much it's going to cost me, by the way, Mindy?
For what?
My garage door.
Oh, there's an update. What? Okay, do I guess? I'm going to guess.
There's an update. This is an estimate because...
$850.
Okay. I would say that's probably pretty accurate.
Okay.
Because they said the estimate was like $790 some.
Ooh, that was good.
But
I went over. I should have said $1.
No, but that's an estimate. So I appreciate your overage. I'm not happy about it. I'm glad it happened with my old car.
Yeah, no shit.
I'm still not excited. They said it would take up to 30 days to get the parts in to replace it. So the estimate is like $790 some. So you were pretty good, Mindy.
Sucks. Sorry for you, though.
Yeah, I'm not pretty good because I'm an idiot.
It happens to the best of us, even Gina.
Mindy, I've got a sexy topic to talk about tonight.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I am drinking red wine, which gets me going. So
is that your sexy wines? Red
is my sexy wine. Mm-hmm. I get a little more affectionate on reds.
Chug a lug, Mindy, because we're getting to it. So first, I want to go into a little background of the topic I'm going to be discussing, which is Sexsomnia.
Okay, yeah, I remember sending you an article. I didn't read it because I just felt like this was up your alley.
It was up my alley.
Woo,
and then
up your alley.
It went from like 2 pages to like 40 pages down to like 7 pages.
Okay. But I have no idea. I just forwarded it. I have no idea what Sexsomnia is.
I know. You're just like, this looks like your cup of tea.
This looks like something you want to talk about.
I'm like, it is. All right, so I'm just going to get into some basics to start with.
Perfect.
So some people sleepwalk, others talk in their sleep, and then there's another sleep disorder.
Ooh.
One that can cause embarrassment, relationship problems, and at times legal troubles.
Oh, boy.
Sexsomnia. Sexsomnia, as the National Library of Medicine explains, is characterized by sexual behavior during sleep.
Okay, I can see the legal sides of this now.
I can see there's going to be quite a gray area in the legal terms.
Sure.
Many people are unaware that their nocturnal sexual activities until a partner tells them.
Yeah, I believe that.
I mean, that's true. Like, you could go your whole life with this sexsomnia, but not even realize what you're doing unless there's someone else present.
Okay, yeah.
And
have you ever experienced a partner with sexsomnia?
I have not, nor have I experienced sexsomnia, but I think more of how this relates to me personally is that I do travel a lot with different people.
Okay. Yeah.
And I feel like this would be such a hindrance.
Brooke, we've slept together many of times and you've never touched me.
I know, but that's
without my permission.
Without your permission. Thank you, Mindy. But that's the whole point I'm saying. It doesn't have to even be the partner that you sleep with.
No, that's a good point.
It could be the partner that you travel with.
A friend.
Or a friend.
Yeah,
something.
Yeah, okay.
You know, so it could happen to any... Oh, it's so upsetting.
I'm intrigued.
Okay. So, they may masturbate, instigate sex, and as CNN reports, some people will instigate sex with a partner while asleep, but become conscious during intercourse.
Oh, okay.
And then accuse their partner of sexual assault. So here's where it gets muddy, right? The waters are definitely muddied.
Definitely.
There are medications and therapies to treat the disorder, but the ultimate cause of sexsomnia is unknown, except that sleep apnea is believed to be a trigger.
Okay. Well, you know, sleep apnea, I mean, we haven't even touched on that subject yet because it's a big topic, but
yes.
you really hinder on the levels of sleep depth, right? You know what I mean? Like, you're not quite in sleep, yet you're not quite awake, and so that in-between stage makes sense that you don't know what's going on.
And if we're going to just jump right in there and be honest, for women, there are a lot of breathing techniques that need to take place for something to take place. If you know what I mean.
I get what you're saying.
Breathing is a big part of things, and it's the breath holding or apnea from the obstructive sleep that triggers the arousal, typically in men. But after you diagnose sleep apnea, you can treat the patient not only the controls of sleep apnea, but also the controls of sexsomnia. Sexsomnia. I don't know. It sounds sexy, but
it's sexy, dangerously sexy.
It's dangerously sexy.
So I'm going to sidebar you here for a moment. You know, bestie, Brooke and I have been rewatching ER from season 1. It's great.
Mindy, can I ask where you are right now?
I think let me look on my Hulu. I think I'm like season 2, episode 20.
Mindy, you have surpassed me.
I know. I've been obsessed. I cannot help myself. So I went to bed last night watching season 20, and Doug Ross, who is played by
Hachi Machi George Clooney,
is getting it on, and I had a George Clooney sex dream last night.
I don't know why you're whispering. I would be like, fuck yeah! I had a George Clooney,
but like a young George Clooney. It was not full on.
Young, old, current, past, present. I don't care. Give me your George Clooney.
There was something going on. There was a lot of feeling, bodies, and emotions.
Bodies were touching, and
Whew, I woke up.
things happened.
I should have had sexsomnia when I woke up this morning, but Mark had already left for work, and I was all alone.
God damn it!
I was like,
God
oh,
damn it! The timing was just off.
so good. George. Mr.
Mark
Clooney.
doesn't know.
He doesn't.
Mark doesn't
I
know
didn't
what
even
he
tell him.
missed.
I didn't even tell.
Coming at him. Oh, that sounds terrible. But coming at him with a George Clooney sex
Right off of a George Clooney experience. He wouldn't have known what hit him, but it was already over.
Okay, yes, ma'am. I appreciate that.
You have to get to that episode.
Mindy, I told you it's going to be a minute.
I know, because you're in the Bravo vault. I understand.
I'm in the Bravo vault.
We got to get back. Focus, Brooke. Focus.
I know, I need
You
to
can't move on to
focus,
track B before you're done with track A.
Oh, I'm
Virgos,
just
you
all
just see
over
it
the
through.
place. I know. I need to get back onto the ER wagon.
Balance it out. Balance it out. You at least got to get to this episode, okay?
Okay.
You might experience the same sexsomnia.
If we have
if
the
possible.
same sexsomnia experience with the same episode, that's going to be unbelievable. Okay. Let's get into sexsomnia. A 38-year-old man repeatedly tries to force his wife to have sex in the middle of the night, but has no memory of his actions when he wakes up.
Is that when you throw like a cold bucket of ice on his balls, or
Is that the
Settle
ice
down.
bucket
Settle down.
challenge?
like how do you respond to that? Okay, I'm sorry. I mean, as a husband and wife, I feel like I would feel a lot more comfortable.
Right.
Other
It's
than
not
someone I
like
don't know.
It's not like a one-night stand thing,
Yeah.
where you're like, I don't know what this guy's doing, but
Okay.
a married woman in her mid-20s often tears off her clothing and masturbates, but remembers nothing when her partner rouses her.
Okay. Interesting.
For a dozen years, a 31-year-old man masturbates while asleep, at times injuring his groin.
Oh.
Embarrassed due to his unconscious behavior, he avoids relationships for 8
Oh, that's
years.
sad. That's sad. I mean, I get it.
8 years, Mindy. I totally get it. Like,
Yeah.
I would be freaked out too, and I wouldn't want.
Right.
It's
Like, how could you even sleep next to someone if you can't control what you're doing? It'd be very
Right, I would be
scary.
a nervous
Yeah.
wreck. And then how do you bring up that topic? How do you bring up that conversation? Oh,
Yeah,
this
get
has to be terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So, sexsomnia can ruin lives. The episodes first began in 2005, according to one woman's husband. About twice a month, his wife would moan sexually and engage in dirty talk, words she would never use while awake.
Okay, girl.
That's what dreaming's for, baby.
right.
Make it dirty.
Like it.
At times, the woman would fondle her husband during the night, and they would engage in sex until she became conscious and accused her husband of forcing sex upon her.
Okay.
This is why it gets...
Yeah, I get it.
It's a line here, people. There's a line
it's
here.
a very tough line.
She also masturbated while calling out other men's names, including that
George.
of a male
George.
coworker.
Oh, sorry. George Clooney.
George Clooney! George Clooney!
Whoops.
Doug!
Ross.
Ross!
I'm not saying that's what happened to me this morning, but
I'm just saying that might be something that happened. However, partners should not assume with sexsomnia that they're allowing a secret to escape from their subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the case.
we talked about that before. You can't.
We have,
dreams.
yes.
You cannot control.
At times, people have even been arrested over their behaviors. There certainly can be legal consequences
Sure.
from the sexual behaviors, particularly with minors, and also with aggressive behaviors during sleep. There's a whole area of sleep forensics to
How do we get
deal
that?
with these.
Ooh. How do we get that job? How do we get that job?
Mindy,
I'm clapping with. I don't know what this is.
I don't know. I feel like this is sign language of some sort, like just innate.
It's like clapping if you make fists with both hands. That's what I don't know why. That's what I'm doing.
I don't know.
How do we get sex? How do we get to be a sleep detective?
I feel like I'm talking.
I want to know,
Mindy.
How do we get to be sleep detectives? Oh, okay, so forget the clown detectives. Forget clown detective school. We're going to sleep.
No, we're
school.
not even into that anymore.
Okay.
We're way above that.
We're changing our major. We'll be fifth years. It's fine.
Please. Okay.
Sorry. It's the red wine.
It's the red wine that makes Mindy so aggressive. There's a whole area of sleep forensics to deal with these issues. They do very comprehensive evaluations, case histories, and interviews with relatives and others to sort out whether it's an excuse or the real thing, which we would want to know.
It's like any of the sleepwalking murders. You gotta talk to the family. Is it a habit?
This is a rare sleep disorder. And this is from a person, you know how I like to give a little background and then maybe a personal experience. So
yes.
Here's the reality of what it's like to live with sexsomnia, according to the author of this article. Waking up masturbating, initiating sex, or having an orgasm sounds like a dream. Yeah, my kind of dream. I like it. But for those who live with sexsomnia, it may seem more like a nightmare. Take it from me, someone who lives with the rare sleep disorder. I've experienced sexsomnia symptoms since I was a teenager.
Ooh, yeah, tough.
While some folks may initiate sex with a partner in their sleep, my condition mostly manifests as sleep masturbation. So there are so many different levels to sexsomnia. Yeah. People living with sexsomnia are often completely unaware, like we kind of said, of these events unless somebody they're sleeping with tells them. Whether it's an intimate partner, whether it's just someone they're sleeping next to, what have you. There's so many different ways. She says, I haven't been formally diagnosed with sexsomnia, as the diagnostic process requires intense evaluation.
I can imagine, like the sleep.
And I did.
Like how?
Yeah, I did look into it a little bit, and it is intensive. So it's like, I bet there are more people suffering from sexsomnia than realize it or even want to admit. Just because of the general embarrassment of, they keep saying, the embarrassment of the issue. But before I got a grip on the condition, it had a negative impact on my life and relationships. It caused issues when sharing a bedroom with friends and partners alike. Yeah. Like I said, I travel a lot, not with necessarily someone I'm romantically involved with. This would be humiliating if I'm sharing a bed with someone and I just start rubbing one out. And I'm not trying to minimize it in any way. Don't get me wrong. No. But it's not just about your partner. It's about anyone you may sleep with. The disorder is very real, and its impact on those who live with it and their partners are very real. So according to a sexologist.
Also a fun job.
I don't know what's more fun, a sexologist or a clown detective.
Or a sleep investigator.
Or a sleep investigator. Contributing factors we have learned with many of our parasomnial disorders, there is a lack of sleep or substance or sleeping pills, anxiety, stress, other sleep disorders or conditions. When she discloses this information to potential partners or people she plans to sleep in the same room with, she gets mixed reactions.
Interesting. I don't know how you broached that topic.
And I would probably have a mixed reaction too. If someone said to me, okay, it's time to go to bed, but, I might start
touch
masturbating.
Yeah.
Or I might come over there and touch you, too. Like,
but I would almost
I would
be
like a heads up.
Yeah, but I'd almost be like,
heads
what do you want me to do in that? Like, how I would react is like, what do you want me to do in that situation? You want me to, like, exit the bed? Do you want me to, like, slap you in the face? Do you want me to throw cold water on your balls? Like, what's going, like, what?
Yes, and it
Tell
could
me
be
what
male,
to do.
female, it could be anything. Like, we can't control what they are experiencing.
Yeah.
Which is what any kind of dream is really about.
Yeah, but I think the people that are aware of this parasomnia, not everyone is, but the people who are aware are happy to be like, okay, just so you know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't...
Right.
That's probably a small percentage, though.
It is, and probably a small percentage of people that are with someone that can actually understand what that person is going through and communicate it clearly. It's a very challenging thing. It really is.
Absolutely.
So most responses along the lines of being hot or fun or a problem I'm lucky to have.
What? Like, who responds like that? No.
Dirty pervies. I will argue that sexsomnia is none of these things. In fact, it can be frustrating, confusing, and disruptive in many areas of life. That's how I see it.
Yeah,
I feel like it would be very disrupting. Sexsomnia isn't always a pleasurable experience for the person, nor for the people who live with them. It can negatively impact a person's sleep schedule, stress levels, and romantic relationships. Avi.
Mm-hmm.
But research is limited on the mental health effects of living with sexsomnia.
Sure.
But since it's categorized as parasomnia, which has been more thoroughly researched, related studies offer potential insight into how sexsomnia may impact someone mentally and emotionally. Research suggests that untreated sleep disorders can lead to serious complications. And I feel like this is common amongst many parasomnial conditions: mood disorders, anxiety disorders, sleep deprivation, false memories, and impaired cognitive functioning. So consent in this situation and boundaries may get a little messy.
Yeah, that's tough.
It's one of those situations where you can't really clear it up. And
I think the best thing you probably do is just explain to someone your situation and what you want them to do in that case it brings it up. In case
honesty is the best policy.
I believe it. Yep. Especially if there's a first hookup, like a one night stand, a first date. Like, how do you get into it?
I might wake up and I might be masturbating next to you, but
don't freak out about it.
Don't freak out. I mean,
but the gender constructs, though, if you think of like the male ideology and the female, like, unfortunately, is different how I think about it, right?
Yes.
Because a guy may be like, oh, that's hot, and a girl would be like, oh, that's creepy.
Right, exactly. And it could be vice versa depending on the personality type. You just never know. So basically, for going back to the basics, sexsomnia is a type of sleep disorder that causes one to engage in involuntary behaviors in their sleep. This usually occurs when part of the brain is awake and the other part is asleep, allowing an individual to still act out activities without fully being conscious of their actions.
So it's like a sexy sleepwalk.
It is kind of like a sexy sleepwalk, and I think this is where the lines get muddled because of the legal interpretations.
Sure.
Like there's a lot of cloudiness here because someone might be completely asleep and might be experiencing sexsomnia. It might not be aggressive or assaultive or anything, but it just could be something that's happening, and one person takes it differently. It's such a blurry line. it can be tough, like we said, to navigate boundaries and consent while having a sexsomnia episode next to someone else. Oftentimes, partners of people with sexsomnia can experience the burden of this sleep condition more than the person who lives with it. And I can get that.
Mm-hmm.
I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because the person who has it may not even realize they're doing it, but their partner is like, I deal with this every night.
Right. Oh, sure.
Know?
Yeah, absolutely.
In fact, there are plenty of repercussions to this. Sexsomnia episodes can lead to consent and boundary violations, sexual assault, or sexual abuse, according to a 2018 study. Sexsomnia has been used as a defense by people accused of sex crimes for years.
Yeah, I get it. So
that part brings me down because it feels like they're using it in a negative way.
I think it makes a lot of difference. The circumstantial. Okay, to be clown detectives here. The circumstantial.
We're being clown detectives, yes,
or dream detectives, sleep detectives. to look at the thing as a whole. If you're walking down the street, you're sleepwalking, and then you claim sexsomnia as you pull someone into an alley and sexually assault them, I think it's a lot different than someone who you may have gone home with, where the beginning of the night may have been consensual, and then that happens. I don't know. I've never been in that situation, but I think you have to look at it situationally.
It's cloudy, though. It is. It is. It's neither experience in what you just described is okay.
Right.
It's never okay to be sexually taken advantage of. Mm-hmm. But these things, sexsomnia is not necessarily a personal thing. It's more personal to the person, that might be experiencing it than to the person they are portraying it onto, which doesn't make it better. They're both
right.
It's like a double negative.
Tough. It is very tough. I see how gray this topic is. Yeah,
it is very, very gray. But open communication can help navigate healthy relationships with those you sleep next to, and it's like, be sure to make space for future conversations so that both you and your partner feel safe enough to share concerns, curiosities, or feelings around the condition at any time.
Of course.
If you're wondering how you can treat sexsomnia, there's plenty of holistic or clinical remedies. Could include anti-anxiety or antidepressant medications, lifestyle adjustments.
Talk to your doctor. You're not experts. We are funny people that talk about dreams. Do not take our advice.
We're like the ha-ha people. Seeing a therapist. And if it becomes enough of an issue, sleeping in separate bedrooms.
Yeah, okay.
So limiting alcohol use.
Yeah. Eating
a balanced diet, reducing stress load, improving sleep routine, and going to therapy. So these are all... This is just good advice for any person in general.
Any situation at all.
At all.
Ulcer, this advice. Stress, follow this advice. Can't sleep, follow this advice. Sexsomnia, same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The last thing I wanted to mention is that if you need help coping with sexsomnia, consider seeking a therapist, medical professional, or sleep specialist. Of course. They are the ones that can come up with a treatment plan to help you and your partner sleep better and manage this condition.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Wow, what a topic, though. I mean, I wonder, do you have any idea, the percentage of people who have this condition? How many people?
I think it's a pretty small percentage. I did read one article that said something like, I don't want to give exact numbers, but it was 5% have experienced it, 7% experience it regularly, and people who have other parasomnial events are more likely to have this kind of event as well. So, if you sleepwalk, if you sleep talk, something along those lines, you're more likely
Makes
to
sense.
be susceptible to something like this.
Oh. Well, thank you for bringing it to our attention for all of our besties.
Mindy, thank
Good
you for
topic.
bringing it to our attention. You sent me the article that got me on this rabbit hole.
Oh, no.
Mindy, guess what? I got a new car this week.
What? I know. You sent me a picture. She's gorgeous. She is like my soul in the color.
So I've temporarily named my car Mindy's Soul. It's
Just tonight. You just came up with it tonight. So don't lie.
tonight. No, I did just come up with it tonight, but it sounds kind of dark and demented.
But it's kind of like a car that's like a bluish, grayish, depending on the light.
Like off a dark lavender group.
It's got a little bit of everything going on.
Silver.
Blue tones.
Depending on if it's sunny or stormy.
Yeah. It's
I'm
gorgeous.
enjoying every second
How
of this
exciting.
lady.
New car. Good.
It
job,
is very
girl.
exciting. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You gonna take me
But-
for a ride in it?
Can you handle it?
Sure. Yeah.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
of course.
Take me
I'll
for a
take you
spin.
for a-
Take me for a spin.
I'll take you for a spin, and
Can
your
we
mind will
cruise
be
up and
blown.
down JFK?
We're gonna have to do this
Because-
I'm sorry. I know you're joking, but we have to do this.
So, I don't know how many of you besties grew up in a small town or a Midwestern town where the thrill of the evening, I mean, this was definitely before social media as well, because I think that
Right. This
plays into it.
has to be known. This is before social.
you gotta cruise the strip.
You gotta cruise the strip, and wherever you're hanging out, in whatever parking lot, you just gotta be cool, man.
You guys gotta meet people. You gotta cruise the strip the other way, go down to Hardeggs, then you go back up to JCPenney.
Right?
mall.
And you're like, I'm now hanging out at Taco Bell, and
And then you got
pretty
Chi-Chi's.
fucking
You gotta stop at
fantastic.
Chi-Chi's.
Oh,
So
are
can
there
we
any Chi-Chi's
can we
left,
cruise the strip in
Mindy?
your car, Brooke, if I come back
Yes.
home to visit next time?
Mm-hmm. I'm ready. I'm ready to take you for a ride.
Take Mindy for a ride in Mindy's soul. That sounds so weird.
Take Mindy for a ride in Mindy's soul. Okay, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
I apologize. That is a temporary
Name.
name.
Okay.
So I don't want to put any pressure on you, Mindy.
I feel that there's a lot of pressure if you name your
Okay, then
car
we're taking
after
it
my
all
soul.
the way.
Because what
No,
if it gets in an accident? Like, I don't feel like my soul is crushed.
What if I'm crushed, Mindy?
What does it matter? My soul.
It doesn't matter if I'm crushed.
What if it's totaled? My soul is totaled. You can't name my car your soul. It's not. It's too much
Okay.
pressure. It's too much pressure. We'll work on it.
Okay, we'll take it away, Mindy. We're
well,
taking it away. Just
put a
sleep
pin in
well
it.
tonight, please, baby. Please, baby, baby, baby. Please sleep well tonight. Do not let this car affect how you sleep tonight.
It won't. I sleep like a baby every night.
Oh, God bless
Like
you.
3 minutes, I'm out. After
You're-
I watch my ER, play a little Candy Crush.
You watch 3
No.
minutes of ER. You're like,
Oh, no.
dude, I'm tired and ready to go to bed.
Well, tomorrow I've got a big day, bestie.
What's happening?
My twins are graduating high school.
I would say that's a big day, Mindy.
Big day.
Big,
I've got
big day.
commencement for my twinnies. They're walking the stage. They're
And
graduating.
they're gorgeous and they're beautiful.
even though
and
the youngest twin texts me this week. She goes, "Mom,
Twin B.
twin B." She goes, "Mom, if the school calls, you forgot to call me out for 5th period." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Well, if you don't, they won't let me graduate." I'm like, "Why? Why would you put me in this situation? Where were you? First of all, where were you?
Like, let's go back to the beginning of this story.
Second of all, you should have asked me beforehand because I probably would have called you out if it was a
Right?
worthy
Like, if you
situation of
told
calling
me
you out.
ahead of time.
But now I'm gonna have to lie and say like, "Oh, I'm the idiot. I forgot."
I'm so sorry. I forgot
Whoops.
to call my daughter out.
Yeah, it luckily the school never called, so I didn't have to lie. I don't mind preemptively figuring this out. If they need a mental health day, I believe you kids should get mental health days from school. I will call you out of school. And luckily, Illinois now passed where you get like 3 or 5 days a semester mental health days for kids. Great.
No kidding.
They
wow,
should.
That's great.
Absolutely.
Absolutely
Adult humans cannot work 12 weeks without a day off. Like, it's not normal. So sometimes you have to take that day off, and it's okay.
And it is.
My parents let me take off mental health days in the 90s. So, like,
they were ahead of the game, Mindy. They were ahead of the game.
They were. But
they knew.
Nonetheless, they got all their credits, they got all their classes done, and they're walking across the stage tomorrow. So, my babies.
I'm so excited, Mindy. You have 2 babies graduating tomorrow.
It's going to be great.
That's insane.
I know. I'm so proud of them.
I'm so happy for you.
I'm so happy for their future. And I'll just cry. But
okay.
Well,
Mindy,
before I start crying, we shall
we
shut down the show. Let's shut it down.
Mindy is steaming up a little bit.
I am.
Rightfully so. Big deal for a mama. Big deal for a mama. Until next week, stay away from that crack shack and sweet dreams, bitches.
Done. And we're done. Cause it's 11 and I gotta eat. And I'm not gonna get much sleep. Cause it's 11, I still gotta eat. And we're done.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.